Hello everyone, this is Bhavyasree. I'm just here to give a brief information about the role of Gaba in various disorders and diseases. Before directly starting with dealing with the role of GABA, it's better to know the difference between a hormone and a neurotransmitter and to confirm whether the GABA is a hormone or a neurotransmitter. Hormone, it is released by the endocrine glands and travels to the circulatory system and acts on the target organ, further showing its action. Whereas the neurotransmitter belongs to the nervous system, is released at the synaptic left in response to a stimulus. When the neurotransmitter is being released at the synaptic left at higher levels, it can be taken up by the presynaptic neuron by its receptors present on the presynaptic nerve end terminals, or it can be taken by the postsynaptic neuron which contains the receptors on it. Its synthesis mainly focusing on the synthesis of inhibitory neurotransmitter GABA, and its metabolism is further learned. Coming to its synthesis, it is synthesized from the excitatory neurotransmitter called glutamate by the enzyme glutamate decarboxylase using vitamin B6 as a cofactor. It is having a doubt that whether the neurotransmitter GABA is produced endogenously or exogenously. As it is endogenously produced, when it is insufficiently produced, it is showing its action in terms of anxiety and convulsions as such. So to treat this, we are taking supplements of GABA. And here another doubt arises that exogenously administered GABA can cross blood-brain barrier or not, as it is defined that it cannot cross blood-brain barrier. But the prodrug approaches can be made possible to cross the GABA to cross the blood-brain barrier. Here, coming to its metabolism, GABA transaminase, an enzyme, converts the GABA and ketoglutarate to succinic semialdehyde and glutamate. It further causes the excitation, so it should be inhibited, which is responsible for excitation. Glutamate overaction can be reduced by the GABA transaminase inhibitor, an anti-epileptic drug called vigabatrin. When GABA is released, it is being uptaken by the presynaptic neuron without showing its action on the postsynaptic neuron and further signaling. So we can treat the epilepsy by using a GABA reuptake inhibitor called tigavein, and succinic semialdehyde, which is produced by the GABA transaminase activity, is converted to the succinic acid and succinic semialdehyde and enters the citric acid cycle as a usable source of energy. GABA shows its action by binding to GABA A and GABA B receptors. The action shown when the binding of GABA to GABA A receptor is similar to the binding of GABA agonist at a site other than the orthosteric site, which is termed as allosteric site, causes a conformational change in the receptor, which causes an increased influx of chloride ions and further causing the hyperpolarization of the neuronal cells. This is a very well established mechanism of action of GABA as an inhibitory neurotransmitter, which we find used in the treatment of anxiety as we further prepare the drugs of class belonging to anxiolytics, sedatives, hypnotics, anti-epileptics, which we focus mainly on its metabolism and reuptake as their inhibitors. Priorly, to characterize a receptor, GABA antagonists have came into existence to identify its receptors. So, GABA antagonists have came into the existence rather than GABA agonists. When the barbiturates and benzodiazepines are used for a longer periods or a longer duration of time, it causes dependence. The dependence can be relieved by the GABA antagonists. And even in experimental pharmacology models, we used barbiturates and benzodiazepines to induce the stimulation or to induce the convulsion actions. Its role in epilepsy and its role in the treatment of anxiety has been priorly discussed. It's my first lecture. Thank you, Pharma Elite. Thank you for the listeners and all the best and expecting the same. Thank you, everyone.